Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dak Shepard.
And I'm Miniature Mouse.
Oh, Maximum Mouse. What do I say about you when you're feeling very virile?
Powerful.
Maximum Mouse.
Yeah.
We have a very fun guest today.
Oh, boy, do we.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Ooh.
Gwyneth fucking Paltrow. You know her? She's in Iron Man. She won an Academy Award in, what was the movie?
Shakespeare in Love?
Shakespeare in Love. Yeah. She, of course, is the founder of Goop, which is what is that? A lifestyle? Explain that to me, Monica.
It is. It's a website that is sort of all-encompassing healthy lifestyle.
Curating a healthy lifestyle. And
clothing, food, just
furniture,
wellness.
home decor.
There's some home decor on there, I think, but sexual wellness.
Ooh.
There's a bunch of stuff. It's a very nice website.
You're a consumer of Goop as well.
I absolutely am.
In the fact check, we'll learn all about how much you like Goop.
Yeah.
But I had met her a couple times in real life, but I fell in love with her on Howard Stern.
Mm-hmm.
I was just overwhelmed with her normalness and her honesty and her humility. And we'll get into all that because she's a triggering person.
She triggers people.
Yeah.
We talk about it.
We're going to get into that.
She's really open about that, too, which I love.
I love it, too. So without further ado, I give you Gwyneth Paltrow. We get support from Quince.
Have you been wearing the Quince linen shirts?
Yeah, I've been wearing them a suspicious amount. Yeah, European linen ones, they're $34, which is genuinely insane for how nice they are.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, here's the deal. They work directly with the factories, cut out all the middlemen, so you're paying for the actual quality and not some brand's marketing budget. Everything's 50 to 80% less than comparable stuff. I love it because it's all very classic and traditional, and I know I'm going to be able to keep it for a very long time, and the quality's off the charts.
That's true. The style is very consistent. Whatever you get there, you walk down the street, you're going to look good. They have these lightweight cotton sweaters, which I love for when it cools down at night. It's nice drape around your shoulders in the summer and then throw it on when it gets a little cool. And it's not just clothes. They do home stuff, ding, 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 travel stuff, everyday essentials. It's all the same model, quality without the markup.
Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/Dax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Dax. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place.
Let's talk bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, but it does not have to be that way.
With SoFi High Yield Checking and Savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit.
No account or overdraft fees, which feels rare these days. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, perfect for getting ahead of a bill or grabbing what you need right when you need it.
Plus, get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi Checking and Savings at SoFi.com/armchair. SoFi Checking and Savings is offered through SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Gwyneth Paltrow, this is very, very exciting to have you for a number of reasons.
Okay.
One is just a gigantic fan. Two, know you very thinly socially, like we've had maybe 6 or 7 conversations.
But impactful ones, at least for me.
Now, that's what I want to get
so
into.
nice.
That's what I want to get into. As luck would have it or not have it, I had a couple toes removed, but 24 hours ago.
Oh, my God.
And so I'm not at my best. I was late. Let me own that. I was late, which is humiliating. I arrived on crutches. I just took some medication that I don't get to use because I'm sober. I want to make a lot of apologies going into this.
Okay. You've set the tone.
Also, you drove out here, which is a big thing for us in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah. I mean, I actually really, it's weird. I think when I've got so much happening in my life that I'm sort of now welcoming. If I have to get in the car, I can listen to a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I can call people. It's kind of like this beautiful respite in the day. So I don't mind.
It sounds to me like you've done what I do with flights to New York. Like to me, a flight to New York is a vacation.
Yeah.
Like 5 hours where no one can call me or ask me to get them anything. Yeah, that's heaven. So you've kind of transposed that onto just the LA commute.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I love this neighborhood, and I don't get here very often.
I saw you in traffic about 9 months ago, and I found myself kind of waving embarrassingly.
Really?
I swear to God, this happened.
Oh my
and
God.
you were up high. You were a passenger in someone's vehicle, and you were very elevated in the air. And I could
Interesting.
see you quite clearly. And I did some spastic waving and stuff. And of course, you didn't see me.
Darn.
And then I had that like 2 minutes of mild embarrassment
Shame.
about the whole thing. Yeah.
I would have been very happy to see you.
To wave back.
Isn't it scary that people see us while we're in the car? I always forget that, and I'm always doing who knows what.
Picking your nose.
Yeah.
I do a lot of that. There is something that happens in the car that it elevates I won't speak for you, but my own self-esteem where I sing and I dance incredibly loud and I'm convinced I sound fantastic and I can get into a zone where I'm the person I really fantasized about being.
What does Kristen Bell think of your singing?
Well, she describes me as tone deaf.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
so say no more.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very efficient summation of how she feels about my singing, but I sing a lot.
Right.
And what's ironic is she's a beautiful singer.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, we know. It's been proven.
We love her singing.
There's very little singing around the house, and then yet I am always singing.
You're just letting it happen.
ABS, always be singing. Are you a good singer? I would imagine you can sing.
I think I'm an okay singer.
An okay singer.
Yeah.
And now, when you were married to Chris, did you find that like you felt left out of the party? Like that,
The singing party?
Yeah.
No, because I'm a really, really good harmonizer.
Oh.
So I never want to be the person singing by myself. I want to be in the back harmonizing. And so that was a really fun part of being married to him, was getting to harmonize with him and,
Yeah.
suggest little harmonies for songs and stuff, not verbally, but just sort of, sing along. And then he'd be like, oh, great, I'm going to steal that.
Every now and then we have these unique opportunities to kind of join other people's lives that would have taken a whole life of dedication to get to.
Yeah.
One of them for me is like I did a couple USO tours in Afghanistan. And while I was on the helicopter as they're shooting at something, and I'm like, oh, I kind of teleported into this
Other
experience
life.
that you
Wow.
normally would have to dedicate your whole life to have experienced.
Right.
And it's so unique. And I'd imagine being like on the inside of Coldplay is one of those where it's like, oh, I get to be on the inside of Coldplay, but I didn't.
Yeah. It's I mean, I'm still with him a lot. We raise kids together, obviously, and we're very good friends. He really is like family to me.
Yeah.
And I always love being around his music and when he's creating music. And over all those years we lived in the same house, you definitely get to be privy to some pretty inspired moments. I remember this one time, like we'd put the kids to bed and I had made dinner and it was like a regular night. We just ate dinner and he just got this weird look in his eye. And then he's like, I got to go to the piano. And literally, I'm not kidding, like maybe 4 minutes later, the song Paradise was done. It
Oh
just, like,
my
Oh,
God.
come out, like start to finish.
Oh
my God.
Paradise.
Oh.
That's not tone
I
deaf.
had a
That's
feeling
Yeah,
we'd
that-
hear it. Yeah.
Oh, that one fucking got me. That one got me big time.
It's a great one.
They have had several that really got me in a chokehold. Yellow
Yellow.
for me.
Yeah, Yellow's a good one. Yellow's a good one.
Isn't it awesome how a couple can own a song? They can just decide it's theirs, which
Yeah.
in probably 16 million people around the world have made it theirs.
But it's so nice, like at a Coldplay concert or at any concert for that matter, you can spot what those songs are and people go from looking towards the stage, they pivot towards each
Oh,
other.
yeah.
I love that moment.
It's really beautiful.
So sweet.
Are you like a romantic at heart as a kid?
Very,
Yeah, me too.
very.
In high school, what were some of those albums?
God, it's funny because I was very into like British kind of alternative 80s music like New Order. And, you know,
Psychedelic Furs,
Psychedelic
OMD.
Furs are like, Ghost in You is one of my favorite songs.
I lost my virginity intentionally to Love My Way by Psychedelic Fur.
Oh my God, that is the best story.
In the basement of my
It's so
house.
John Hughesian.
It was. The unfortunate part of it was I mapped it out pretty nicely. It was a mixtape, a 90-minute tape. And we luckily got right to the action, right as Love My Way started, which was my all-time favorite song. And Gwyneth, I did not make it to the chorus.
I'm sure she didn't expect you to.
Well, I don't think either. I didn't make it to the chorus. And then I was just very confused about, like, do I guess I just continue on with this motion? And like, maybe she'll tell me that that's enough. And then just so going from like maybe the nicest moment to date to my life to then just real confusion and like hoping that I would somehow dematerialize and just end up somewhere I felt normal and
It's all part of the process.
It is, isn't it?
That's the human experience.
Yeah.
Right there. It's all of us multiple times a day. Like we could be 15 and losing our virginity or,
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
I just found out I was 15. First, let me start by
Were you
saying
15?
No,
Yes.
I was terribly young. I am almost, it feels irresponsible.
How
to
young
say.
were you?
I was in 7th grade and she was in 9th grade. So I was 12 or 13.
Is that anatomically possible?
It is. I was also 5'11" and
You were in 7th grade? Oh, my son is in 7th. You're giving me a...
It's not common. I wouldn't say it's
statistically,
common.
Who
no.
has sex in 7th
Yeah,
grade?
that's early.
I was ready to do it.
I can't believe you could get a boner in 7th
Oh,
grade.
I was.
He's been getting
I
boners
was
since he was
too-
4.
No, but I was 2 years into having boners that I knew what they were intended for. I think for me, it started in 6th grade where I was like, oh,
Okay, this is too
making-
close to my life right now.
It's funny because I tell myself I have a narrative I'm spinning about how I'm going to be as a father of 2 daughters.
Yeah.
And with some awareness that it is that. It's a theory. And then in practice, it might evolve. But currently, I'm of the opinion I'm super pro-sex. I am anti having sex to get approval. I'm anti having sex to get someone to like you or to gain status in a social circle. But if my daughters are horny and they have decided they want to have sex, I'm very pro-sex.
Yes, I am too. I should just say, you're a really thoughtful father. Like we've had a couple of conversations around it, and I'm always so impressed with how intentional you are in your parenting.
That makes me really happy
It's true.
because I'd say the single biggest stream leading to the self-esteem pond is the parenting one. I mean, it's the one that gives me the most joy, pride, frustration.
Especially the daddy one for a girl.
Yes. Oh my God, I don't even know where to start with you. I'm already panicking that we don't have enough time because I just want to quickly say to you
So much time.
that I love when you're on Howard Stern. I think you're an amazing Stern
thanks.
guest. I think have you done it twice?
I have. That's
Yeah.
so nice.
The way you described your father on the show, as I'm driving to the sand dunes with dune buggies and a trailer behind me, I'm fucking crying. The way you talk about your dad, my life goal is to have my girls talk about me the way you talk about your dad someday. I think your comment was everyone has a father, but very few people get a daddy. Oh, my
that's
fucking
nice.
God, I hate it.
Chris Rock, that's what Chris Rock emailed me when my father died.
Oh,
He just nailed it.
oh, that's so special.
I know.
I have that towards my mom.
That's
Like, I
so
just
nice.
cannot get enough of that lady.
Oh,
And
that's
I will
so
feel directionless, I think, when she dies for a while. I'm pretty certain.
I can tell you that's probably right.
I can tell you that is in your future.
Yeah. I mean, I felt, for me personally, when my dad died, I mean, I was 30, which is relatively very young, hopefully, in the span of my life. And I still have a really hard time with it. And it's so interesting because, again, he was such an intentional father, and he was so observant and so deeply supportive and set us up to win all the time. And now I have a 14-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son. And I'm like, fuck, I need to call my dad. Like,
Yeah.
I need to talk to my dad. And I don't have that person. I have incredibly brilliant people in my lives, but I don't have their grandfather, who was also the greatest father in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to talk to him.
Yeah. And how old was he when he died?
58.
Ay.
It's too young.
My dad was 62, and these are not good ages.
It's way too young.
Did he have a heart issue or something?
No, he had throat cancer. And then we were on a trip to Italy for my 30th birthday. And he wasn't feeling well. And then he got double pneumonia. And like,
Oh, my goodness.
he just sort of died on me on
Oh,
the
my
trip.
gosh.
Yeah.
On your birthday.
Just after, yeah.
Oof.
It was.
So are you, in general, now pretty pumped about your birthday as it rolls around?
Well, it's funny you say that, because for years, I would go into kind of the deepest depression of all time around my birthday. And then I thought, like, I've got to reframe this somehow. Like, my father would not want this for me.
It would break his heart to know he was making you sad.
Right. And so my birthday is September 27th. And so this past September, I got married on the 29th of September.
Oh, what a great way to reclaim it.
Yeah. His ashes are buried under this beautiful tree and at my house. And we got married there. Like right near my dad, kind of on my dad. That sounds weird.
That's really sweet.
That is.
But in your Stern interviews, first of all, you're incredibly honest, which I find always the most attractive thing about people. You're incredibly down to earth. You're incredibly down to earth on that show, and it's really, really refreshing. I have found myself over the years, not even because you and I are friends, but because I feel like where it's coming from. I've always felt very defensive of you because you seem to trigger people.
Yeah.
You trigger people, and it drives me bonkers. It really drives me bonkers because in sobriety, our main focus is really kind of isolating what are our fears, because our fears are basically driving this ship. And until you understand what you're afraid of, you're not going to understand what course you're on, right? So when I see someone that's mad at you, to me, it seems so obvious. Oh, there's something about her that when they look at her, they feel less than, which is their issue. And a sad issue, a terribly sad issue for that person. But there have been a couple things over the years where I'm like, you guys are so mad she said this, like conscious uncoupling. That became a firestorm, right?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, what is going on? Mind you, no one whose opinion I value was saying that, but I was just picking it up through the ether.
Yeah.
But that's not even, you didn't make up conscious uncoupling.
No, it had been coined, I think, in the 70s. And it's such a beautiful concept, right? It's like, you're staring down the barrel of a divorce, your worst outcome possible, especially, my parents were married till my dad died. All my best friends I've been friends with from elementary school, middle school, and onwards, all their parents were married. They all married, like college or high school person. They're all still married. I just didn't come from a world where there was a lot of divorce. And
you couldn't have asked people you trusted their advice or guidance through it, right?
And I just thought, as I looked around and sort of knew that this was happening, and I thought, I'm going to try to collect a little data around how children have been impacted by divorce. And again, sorry to overuse the word, but be intentional about avoiding those common pitfalls. Like, what are the common themes here that we see? And the most common wound that I heard from children of divorce was, my parents couldn't be in the same room and couldn't be friends. And it took 3 years. It took 18 years. It took, God forbid, the death of a close family member for them to sit at the same table. And I just thought, like, I wonder if there's a way to circumvent that and just go directly to the point where we're friends and we remember what we loved about each other and constantly acknowledge that we created these two incredible human beings together. We commingled our DNA. We're family. That's it. So we can pretend we're not and hate each other and, drop a kid at the end of the driveway and not come in. Or let's try to reinvent this for ourselves. And so I think at the time, honestly, I was in a lot of pain. It was so difficult. It felt like such a failure to me.
Yeah.
And it was so hard, and I was so worried about my kids. So then there was this whole other layer of like the world turning on us about saying, essentially, we just want to be nice to each other and try to stay a family.
We're going to try to do this without a ton of wreckage.
No wreckage. And it was brutal because I already felt like I had no skin on, you know?
Yeah.
But as happens to me in my life, and like by pattern recognition, I can see that I think the whole point of being here is to try to optimize yourself as much as possible. Like be as accountable for your shit as possible. Like stretch yourself, grow.
Yeah.
Do the uncomfortable thing, like in the name of something bigger and more beneficial for your family or your community. And sometimes I've said things and it's been too early in the culture or whatever.
Right. You were a little ahead of the
Yeah.
curve. Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, you know, of course, sometimes I've gotten my feelings hurt, but then I always think, you know, I really feel like I do things from a place of being in integrity. Not that I don't make mistakes, but I try to align my words and my actions as closely as possible.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, yeah, something can hurt. It can hurt your feelings if, you know, people are like, you're an idiot. Why are you saying that?
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, when you really believe in what you're doing, it doesn't resonate in a way that like breaks you apart, you know, because you believe in what you're doing. And, you know, the other thing I didn't think about at the time was, I think in retrospect, and I've talked about this before in hindsight, but I think the problem with saying, hey, there's, you know, we don't know if it's possible. We're going to try to do this in a nice way where we're not a couple, but we're a family.
Mm-hmm.
That I think triggered a lot of people who were the
Oh,
sons and daughters of very acrimonious divorces or people in the middle of acrimonious divorces.
Absolutely.
And I didn't think about that at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Someone's like struggling very hard. It's very challenging for them to deal with their ex.
And then they hear, "Oh,
that
you're doing it wrong." That's what they're hearing. That's not what I said or meant.
Yeah.
And I don't judge
they're
anything.
going, "Oh, you're going to do it perfect? Talk
Yeah.
to me in a year."
Right.
You came out the exact place you should end up, which is if you know your intentions and someone says something contradictory to that, you should be able to recognize it might be that person's thing. And that can be very liberating. And we talk about it on here a lot, which is you can give me the same compliment, right? If I'm walking down the street and you stop me and you say, I loved you in something, acting wise, if my self-esteem is low, I go, oh, that person recognized me. And what else were they going to say? They had to be polite.
Right.
Like, what were they going to say? You sucked in that thing. So that's like the worst case scenario. And then if my self-esteem is incredibly high and they stop me and say that, I think, well, that was nice that they took the time to say that, but it doesn't fill me up because I recognize that's not something that is a real esteemable act. There's really no zone where the comment is even objectively anything. It's just literally how I'm taking it based on how good I feel about myself that day.
Right. And I think it's also like a particular byproduct of being an actor. First of all, we all have pretty lousy self-esteem, you know, that's why we chose it in the first place. But I think also, you know, it's been interesting then going and doing a different kind of career where, you know, if I'm made a, say like, I have a cookbook that, you know, we try to make like healthy, easy food at Goop. It's like one of the things we do. And to have somebody come up and say, hey, you know, thank you for this recipe. You know, I could never get my kid to eat anything healthy and he only had pasta and grilled cheese and now he's eating this. Like,
yeah,
that feels different.
Yeah. To me, that's the difference between this podcast and acting.
Yeah.
Is like, I believe them when they say it like made an impact on their life, which is an incredibly, wonderful feeling.
And I think conversely, you know, to be a public person and to get criticism leveled at you for whatever reason, I found that, and I had a great therapist that taught me this, that, you know, it only really stings if it's a judgment that you're already holding against yourself.
1,000%. Yeah, that kind of becomes a good roadmap of like what you should maybe pay attention to, right? Is the stuff that truly bothers you.
Right.
And I would imagine maybe with the conscious uncoupling thing, you must have felt pretty good about that decision. And maybe that one, did that roll off your back a little?
I mean, it's hard to say because it was so layered that whole time with so much.
Well, right. You were already
things.
probably feeling at your worst in many ways.
But I will say, you know, now it's a few years later and I'm really proud that we did that and that we stuck to it. And
I've seen you guys together, and to me, unless you guys are, unless he's an incredible actor as well, it seems to be going pretty peaceful.
Yeah, we really have stayed close, and I think it doesn't mean that we don't have our difficult things with each other, but like the way you would with anyone in your family.
Were there steps that you took? Was there something specific, or you guys just made a decision?
I think the most important thing to do is let go of spite, because it's an emotion, it's a feeling that really can just co-opt the human soul really quickly. So you just have to practice, like, I don't know, I was very present of like not, of course, not sublimating feelings. You have to let feelings come up and go through, but the feeling, I think spite is a very dangerous emotion, and I was very conscious not to act from that place. And it took, restraint. Like, we're all human, and these things happen, things come up, and
You're always going to probably have a first thought, right? Like a knee-jerk, instinctual first thought.
So how do you build a cushion between that feeling that comes up like you're going to vomit and action? It's like I always tried to think of like, I need to build a pause here.
Yeah.
I need to build a cushion, and I would sort of like picture building some kind of cushiony vessel where I was like, I'm just going to hold on to this for a second and not act from this place or say anything from this place.
By the way, this is straight AA. It's like we pause.
Is it?
Yeah, we pause when we become agitated. So it's like,
interesting.
as a modus operandi, you are obligated at all times to give yourself a little time before you ever take action. It's just kind of like
In
required
any situation?
when agitated. So like any time that you're rustled,
When agitated.
it's time to pause and maybe even call someone and run your idea by them.
Yeah.
Just check in with someone
Yeah.
objective on the outside.
Yeah.
And also, to your point about spite, when people have contempt for each other, it's over.
It's over. It's very hard, to come back from that. I see it. You see it all the time in currently married couples.
Yeah. And so my kind of mantra I have to practice, because there's many times I can't stand Kristen, in any given week, but I tried to watch the words I'm using, but
Same with
it's not a
parenting.
permanent condition. Yes, I was going to say, and now I find that I am applying it to my kids all the time.
The difference in that language as it pertains to your child, I think, is that like your wife can be like, fuck you, like, don't call me a bitch. But a child, there's a shame infusion that happens when you say you are messy, right?
Uh-huh.
As opposed
They're
to like,
flawed, basically.
right.
Yeah.
They hear I'm flawed.
I'm broken.
And it's the shame. It's the shame that comes in. And that's something that I try to be aware of as well with my kids. Language is so important.
It really is, and we don't put a ton of thought behind it as we're using it.
What is your philosophy around raising girls with good self-esteem, and how do you action that?
So I think you and I probably both agree that I think modeling is way more effective than talking.
Yeah.
So like it's as much of a journey for me as it is for them. It's like walking the walk in front of them is hard. Every single kid sees their parents fight. Almost no kids see their parents make up.
Right.
Because you fight publicly and you make up in the bedroom.
Right.
So that's
Aw,
something.
yeah.
It's awkward as fuck, but we do it. Like we
So
make up in front of
great.
them.
I've never heard of that before. That's brilliant.
Again, it's corny and goofy. And again, this will be
I
triggering.
don't
Someone will
think
be
so.
mad at me at home going like, well, if I was rich, I could do that too. It seems that like no matter what I say, it's like if I exercise, like, yeah, well, if I was rich, I would exercise too. Everything. But by the way, I can relate. I grew up fucking poor and I hated rich people. And anything that good happened to a rich person, I was like, yeah, if I was rich, I'd have fucking curly hair too. It didn't really matter. It's just a cure-all. Spoiler alert, it's not a cure-all. I wanted it to be, but it was not. But okay, so I also believe that like I can only offer them what I do. So for me, my self-esteem builders are physical exercise is number one for me.
Yeah.
Even if they're gonna watch TV on Saturday, they get to watch cartoons on Saturday and Sunday. I bring them down to the gym and they watch. Oh, if I was rich and I had a gym, I bring them down to the basement of our house where I have workout equipment and I'll put their cartoons on there. And then they have, they're forced to watch me work out for an hour which I guess is weirdly perverse too. I can also see like a great
But they watch
80s
cartoons
movie.
while you work out?
Yeah. So they're just in the gym with me, spending that time while I work out. And then
And sometimes they do like stretches. They like want to be a part of it.
Right.
they do. And they
How
have
old are they?
5 and 4.
Okay.
So yeah, they have little pink weights and then they'll get in the mix for a minute.
Oh, so
But
cute.
then they get distracted.
And I do think, and I know this sounds like a little nuts, but I think that we all, certainly for me, and so I'll extrapolate it out, I process emotion when I move. Like if I'm sad or I'm confused about something or I'm angry and I just take a walk,
Yeah.
I feel much, much better afterwards. Just, I don't know if it's the fresh air. I don't know if it's the movement. I don't know if it's a combination of it, whatever, the peace and quiet. But
You and Monica have that in common. That's her
Yeah, that's my remedy.
secret power.
I walk and I dance too. I do.
Well, yeah, if I was as rich as you, I could dance
Exactly.
whenever I wanted. Yeah, in fact, when dudes I sponsor, if they call me up and they're ranting about something, I'll go, listen, dude, I'm happy to hear this after you exercise for an hour. Exercise for an hour and call me back and just let's see if it's the same rant.
Well, because it won't be, right? Because you metabolize stuff through moving your body.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's so generous of you to be a sponsor. And I would imagine that doesn't mean the only job of that is to just like hold the trash can while someone vomits their anger and right. I mean,
In fact, it's not that. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Right.
That's what I want. It's what we all want.
And so, do you pass the responsibility baton back to the person? Is that your job?
My personal thing is when you've done X, Y, and Z, and you still have a problem, then we know you still have a problem. Then let's throw the tools at it. Let's do a 4-step about it. Let's do this. But this sounds like it's just general human angst.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Confidence. It's listening to your gut. It's moving forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. For nearly 160 years, Pacific Life has helped people keep their promises, building confidence for generations. Whether you're confident in your financial future or just beginning to envision it, we're here to help. Ask a financial professional how. Pacific Life, the power of a promise. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York, Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
How long have you been a sponsor?
I've been sober 14 years, and maybe starting a year in or something, I felt confident enough to like guide some people. You know,
How did you decide to get sober?
I made many, many decisions to get sober, and I tried many, many times and failed many, many times. And I mean, in a very most basic nutshell. By the way, it was not too long before I very first met you. Because I very first met you, I'll never forget it.
Oh, in the
Do
bedroom.
tell.
Yeah. I turned to the right, and I am coming out of a blackout. No. I met you in John's living room right as you were about to do Iron Man.
Oh my God. Weird.
And I knew John because I got sober to do Zathura, which was the movie right before Iron Man. I got to say, I'm just going to say it really quick. You know, over 15 years of acting consistently, I've met most of us, or quite a few of us. And in general, which is a very healthy thing, it's not that exciting. You know, even the people that I was were my heroes, I'm like, oh yeah, that's very much a human. Yeah, He's still got a little food on his face from dinner. He didn't get that off. But I will say you're one of the handful of people that when I turned the corner and saw you, I was like, oh, goddamn. Yeah, that person has the X factor. Like, that's an overwhelming presence.
Wow.
Unicorn,
I
huh?
agree.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Found myself a bit intimidated by you. I still find myself a little bit intimidated by you.
Which goes back to the thing that people are triggered by.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have some kind of X factor, which is just really pleasant. And I could see being jealous
To
of it.
you,
Luckily, I'm a guy,
Not
No.
others.
so I'm not like, fuck her. Why does her skin look like
Well,
that?
no one should have that reaction,
No.
but people do because it's easy to do that.
It is. Okay, I got distracted by your beauty. Okay. So for me, exercise is number one. My number two is being of service to people. who will not benefit me, right? So I'm not going to get anything out of it. And generally, a good indicator of it's the right service to do is I don't want to do it. I don't want to do. There's nothing worse than brushing a 3-year-old's teeth. It's almost impossible. I'd rather fucking brush a crocodile's teeth. Yeah, they hate it, and they act like they're doing you a favor. And I'm always like, Delta, you think I like this? I don't like this either. We're both in a shitty situation. Let's make the best of this.
I know. And then you look back and it's so finite. Now I wish I could brush.
Although you'd kill to brush your 12-year-old's teeth, probably.
What I don't miss is the ass wiping.
Oh, now that I'm fine with.
I'm just like, I'm fine with it. I'm just glad that he is autonomous in that capacity.
He can handle it.
Yeah.
You know, like
Sure.
I didn't mind it at the time, but I'm just glad that we've moved on.
Yeah, I don't know what it's. I think we got to learn it on here because we talk about it so much. Because I've pooped my pants many times throughout my life, and these
What?
stories end up
Why?
a reaction.
That's the appropriate reaction.
That was a real that was a great reaction. We don't
Like-
need another take. That was you said everything.
Like from being sick or being drunk or
You name it, Gwyneth. I have just been bold and arrogant and thought, it feels like I might have diarrhea, but I'm just going to do a bit of a little fart and just check and see if it is. And then going, oh boy, yep, that was, you should have listened to your body. There's been that. There's been, a heavy drug abuse, which is kind of like.
was drugs your thing or alcohol?
Yeah. Well, cocaine and Jack and Diet. Those were my two favorite things.
Does cocaine make you poopy
Shit, you're saying
pants?
quite often when you first do those first few lines, it's quite often cut with baby laxative.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
That seems unethical.
So I would just say that in general, there's kind of this, what I would say is a fallacy of there being a rock bottom. There were multiple rock bottoms for me, but the last one was a week before I started that movie Zathura. I'm like, I need a vacation. I went to Hawaii with a friend from Detroit. I bought crystal meth. I smoked it the whole time. I had all these dangerous things happen to me. I mean, just madness, absolute madness. I was so sick by the time I had to fly
that
back
sounds
from
terrible.
Hawaii to LA, and I had a layover in San Francisco. And I was so physically sick that I knew I wasn't going to be able to make that flight from San Francisco to LA unless I got some Jack and Diets in me. So I'm sitting in the corner of this bar and I'm ordering like Jack and Diet after Jack and Diet. I just have this moment where I go, oh my God, every single thing you set out to do that you ever dreamt of doing is happening right now. Every goal I had ever set in my life was happening at that exact moment. And I was fucking hiding from the world in the corner of this bar. And I was as sad and as miserable and as demoralized as I've ever been in my life with everything I'd ever wanted. And I thought, something's really broken.
And you were how old?
29.
Right. So what a gift to be 29 and be able to realize like there is no external factor. Nobody gets that gift.
No. And even as I
Really
tell it to
sad.
people, I understand that they won't believe it. And
Yeah.
I totally get it. But I'll tell friends, I'm like, I know it feels like money is the thing. And I know you're not going to believe me, but it certainly makes some things convenient, but it just doesn't fill the hole inside.
It's not healing.
No, it's not healing.
It's not healing. Isn't that the same criteria that drugs? I mean, it sort of seems like that's such a manufactured high of the ego. It's like, I got the promotion. Here's quantifiable proof that I'm worth X.
Uh-huh.
Like I imagine, I've never really done drugs, but I imagine like you do drugs and you're like, oh, I'm there like for a minute, and then you're anytime you attach to that ephemeral feeling of high, whether it's a drug or like an ego boost, it's not real. How much do you think that there is a relationship between if you feel unhealed and the panacea of drug addiction? Where does it stem from, in your opinion?
Well, we're the hardest people to study. We're the hardest things to predict on the planet. And there is no consensus of
We're
people.
very complex.
We're
true.
so complex.
Do you have siblings?
I do. I have an older brother and a younger sister.
Do any of them have?
My brother's sober.
Okay.
Yeah, so genetically for sure.
Right.
And then I have all kinds of trauma from childhood.
Right.
But then even if you look at the difference between he and I, like the variation's so different in the way the addiction manifested itself. and were from leaving the same household with the same genetic package, and yet they kind of went.
Did you see this documentary, Three Identical Strangers?
Yes.
So
Fascinating
good.
to this point. Oh my
Yes. And did you have the experience I did where the first half of it, I was so depressed, and by the end, I was so relieved in that the first
God.
half,
I feel
it's
like
very
I had
much
the opposite.
Oh, you did?
interesting.
Oh, walk me through it.
Well, because I was watching it through the lens of like, my God, this is so. I mean, probably not the whole first half because it gets very dark.
Mm-hmm.
I would say a third of the way in.
Mm-hmm.
Should we tell people what it is? real
Oh, yeah. So, in a nutshell, one guy goes to college. He's enlisting in college. And when he arrives there, all these people are saying hi to him. Hey, Dave, how's it going? He's like, no, I'm not Dave. One guy is so adamant that it is Dave that he then calls real Dave. And then he takes this guy to meet Dave, and they are identical twins. This makes it into the paper. A third person's reading the paper and goes, Jesus, I'm identical to those two. They find out that there are three separated identical triplets.
Separated at birth but for the experiment.
Well, as we find out, a very nefarious,
That's where it gets really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it really is a study in, is mental health, is it nurture or is it nature?
Yeah, so for me, the first half of the film is detailing all the similarities they had, even though they were separated at birth. And I am now, as a parent, going, oh man, what we do means nothing. Like we have no role in it, because look, they're all the same, even though they grew up in all these different houses. So for the first half of the movie, I'm super depressed, and I'm like, oh, it's all nature. I have nothing to do with this. And then come to find out, no, they're not very similar at all. In fact, they're dramatically different.
Right.
And so
It's
by the end, it kind of confirms that nurture has a huge role in
Of course, yeah.
it. That's why I went from
Oh, I
sad
see,
to
I get
happy.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
but you got sad because of the nefarious
Yeah.
plot.
Yeah, I thought it was somebody in there says this is like a Nazi experiment.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that was resonant. Like it was pretty crazy.
Yes.
Is your wife sober?
No, but she's the least addictive person I've ever met, and it's so frustrating. When we first met, she smoked, not a ton, but she smoked in the evening or whatever. And then like one day I pointed out to her, I'm like, you realize you haven't smoked in a month and a half. Like, did you quit? And she goes, oh, I haven't? And I was like, oh my God, when I quit smoking, it was like a
whole
minute
shebang.
to minute. Like, oh my God. Nothing's been harder in my whole life.
Yeah.
You were a smoker, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and didn't you love it?
I smoked a pack a day probably until I was 25 years old.
yeah.
Like wake up and light a cigarette.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Few things are nicer.
I really was into it.
It was your thing, right?
I loved it.
But you didn't do drugs.
No, I never really did drugs. I've tried a couple things.
I hope you've done mushrooms.
I've never done mushrooms.
You haven't?
I've never done acid. I've never done
MDMA?
I did MDMA
Good.
once.
Did you enjoy it? I'm trying to get Monica to do it really bad.
Yeah, he wants me to
I
do all
feel
the
like
drugs.
it was like more of like a shamanic experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was I had a lot of trauma come up and I was like crying, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it was productive, but it wasn't like I'm at a rave, like with my shirt off. It wasn't.
You weren't making out with anyone during it?
No, totally not.
You should do it one more time and make out. I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Few
will.
things
You
feel
recommend
better in
it.
life than making out on MDMA.
Really?
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, maybe I cleared something and I need to try it.
Yeah. We
Different.
we got through the trauma. Now let's just get into the pleasure. Just one time.
Yeah.
You can come to our ecstasy party. We're
Are you going to have one?
gonna have one. It's been in the
It's in the books.
works.
So what do you do during an ecstasy
I
party?
just make sure everyone's
Happy.
enjoying themselves, and if I notice anyone's like freaking out a little bit mentally, I'll be there to go like, "Hey, I'm sober.
Yeah.
You can trust me right now. This is nothing."
See, but that's why I don't do drugs, because like that's always me.
You're afraid of being out of
Anxious.
control.
Yeah, like one time when I was a teenager, I smoked too much pot and I thought I was hallucinating, or maybe I was, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it really freaked me out. Like I'm just not a good drug person.
And it's got to be because you must like control, yeah?
You think?
I-
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, do you think you have an idea of why you desire control?
I
Do you think there's something
I think
from
it's
your
always the
childhood?
opposite of fear, isn't it? Or like our solution, it's like fear-based action, right?
Right.
It's something that I'm aware of and I work on, and I hate that about myself. Like I hate that I have inextricably linked fear and control as like two sides of a coin. It can be incapacitating. I mean, like flying is a perfect example. If I'm on a takeoff and it's really bumpy, like I get really scared.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was there anything about childhood? Well, let me just ask. So your mother is an actress. Yeah. And your father is a director. No,
he made TV shows. That's he wrote, directed, and produced TV shows, and like The White Shadow. I don't know if you're too young.
No, I'm not too young.
Which was a great show and a really groundbreaking show. And then he made one called St. Elsewhere about a hospital. So he made really good shows, and
So he was a creator of St. Elsewhere?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's incredibly impressive.
And he ran that show for years. And it was a good show.
I tell people on here who don't have a great, in-depth understanding of show business that the number one badasses in the whole thing are showrunners.
Yeah.
Nobody has a harder job.
It's pretty crazy. And I just married a showrunner, so we've gone full circle.
I could talk about him for an hour. By the way, he's such a babe.
He's such a babe.
I met him. We were somewhere, and I was telling you the pattern I get into every time I attend something like that. I don't know if you remember this.
I remember it perfectly.
Oh, okay. And because I thought it was a really ripe conversation for you and I to have, because you grew up around all this.
Right.
And that probably came with some benefits and some handicaps. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So having two parents in film and television, do you feel like you noticed that they were measuring their worth at times in comparison to other people, and you became aware of that being something, like a preoccupation?
I think children are so narcissistic. It's like you're absorbing, you're kind of like on your parents' Wi-Fi and you're feeling whatever, but I don't think I was that observant about how they went through their lives as adults. And, but I think when my mother would be, rehearsing Chekhov at the Williamstown Theater Festival, and I was a kid sitting there watching her, I just wanted to be that. I didn't even understand that she was, I'm talking like I'm a year and a half or 2 years, 3 years old and on, just thinking whatever is happening to my mother right now, that level of freedom, empowerment, expression, like I want to be that.
Yeah. So, and just to really drill into it, is it that you just wanted to be mom, or you were also recognizing that mom was in a position where all the attention was focused on her? She was steering the ship. There was a lot of power and all that. Can you separate which was which? I
was recognizing the difference between her at home and on stage.
Oh.
And it's kind of in life and in her element, like doing her art.
Yeah, it's rare for kids to see their parents do the thing that they excel at or special at, right?
Yeah, and I was so lucky because I got to watch her work at it, like rehearse, and I always ran lines with her, and I felt very proud of her talent and her commitment.
And were you the type of child that would try to like get involved in it? Like, would you run out on stage?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm in this precarious situation with our kids, and I imagine you wrestle with it a lot too. You're unique in that your kids are now second generation or third generation show business. So you certainly are probably in a better position than I am because you grew up that way and you probably know the pitfalls.
Right. I think the benefit of growing up in it is that, I think we're Americans. Movies and entertainment is one of our biggest exports. It's a huge driver of our economy. And at the same time, it's also like this fantasy world that we dream about. Like, could I ever be that? And it seems like a cure. And so I think a lot of people aspire to do it. And now we're living in a time where it's a career to be famous for no reason.
Sure.
And it's achievable. So the benefit for me is that was not why I was doing it. I just wanted to be like my mom when she was playing Blanche Dubois.
Right. You weren't craving per se like fame.
No.
You actually wanted to be a part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have the feeling that I saw her having when she was crushing some insane monologue and making everybody feel so much.
But we've been in a couple of, and they're very rare, and I try to minimize them, but we've been in a couple situations where, say, like Kristen shot on a cruise ship. We had to be on the cruise ship while she filmed. What I was kind of observing is like, oh, wow, it's clicking to Lincoln that all these people on this ship are interested in Mom.
Yeah.
And then I'm also recognizing that she, rightly so, is kind of possessive of that attention. Like that's her mom. That's not everyone else's mom, right? So I'm just kind of watching the complexity of this scenario, and I'm trying to evaluate, like, is this destructive? Is there a way for me to explain this to her? Like, just, again, trying to be intentional about what's going on because it is unique. And then people maybe connecting the dots that that's her daughter, and now she's getting an amount of attention that's not right for a kid to get.
Right.
It's all very complicated, and then of course I get very protective of the whole thing, and for that reason, I don't love them to be on set.
Yeah.
I don't like how the adults treat them. That they've kind of got this elevated status because there are kids, and everyone's so excited they're there. I'm like, no, kids are pieces of shit. When you go visit your parents at work, you're an annoying piece of shit, and everyone ignores you. That's normal. So what did you learn from being a child in that situation?
Yeah. I mean, it was a very different time, Dax. Like, there wasn't social media, there wasn't the internet, and fame was different then. And also, my parents weren't that famous. Like, they were amazingly talented working people, but not necessarily, my mom wasn't a household name, you know? And I think people who loved acting and loved movies definitely knew who my mom was. And she's more famous now, funnily enough. But I would have those situations where, I remember once being in Howard Johnson's, eating the fried clams. That was my favorite thing.
Hojos.
And again, and
See, she's not an entitled piece of shit. She
eats fried
She ate
clams.
Hojos. Come on, guys.
Fried clams is my favorite food.
Oh, wow. Your guilty pleasure?
Fried clams and French fries, yeah. I'm a fried food. That's my weakness.
Me too. I could get rid of sweets.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't have to fuck with that.
No.
But, just give me anything fried.
Give me that salt, girl. Give me that salt and that deep fry. How about deep fried scrimps? Do you like those?
Deep fried what?
Scrimps. Shrimp.
Yes, I love it.
Oh, aren't they
with
beautiful?
cocktail sauce.
Oh, or how about a little mayonnaise on there? I'll do
mayonnaise, tartar sauce, whatever.
Yeah, pick your sauce.
But I remember this woman coming up to her and being so starstruck, and that's the moment that I connect. I was like, oh, there's something else happening here, and this woman is projecting so much onto my mom, and I didn't have that language, but I could feel how powerfully she was impacting this person.
Yeah. And did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
This generation, it's a little bit more precarious in that, as I said,
Everyone's got a camera.
fame is its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to put anything into the world that is impacting culture or art or music or, to be famous.
Sure.
I mean, I guess you could argue you're impacting culture, I guess.
Well, can I give you the way I've come out on the other side of this?
Please.
So people were so furious that this guy, the situation from Jersey Shore, was going to make $1 million or whatever the number that came out. Do you remember Jersey Shore, big hit on MTV?
I never saw it, but
You're aware of it. Snooki.
Yes.
So the situation was one of the characters, and it came out that he was going to make $8 million that year or something. And people were just up in arms. What does he do? He just gets drunk and hangs out and works out, and that's why he's famous, blah, 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 blah. People were very angry about it. And just for 1 second, I thought, I'm delighted when people win the lottery. I'm so happy for people in the rest of the country if they buy that ticket and all of a sudden they're millionaires. I'm so happy for them.
Right.
That's all that happened to this guy. He bought a lottery ticket. Now he's a millionaire. I should be happy for this guy. I don't know why I'm so upset by it, but I found myself being upset by it.
You were upset by it?
Sure. Well, maybe not him per se, but other people who've the Kardashians say are very triggering for people.
Yeah.
They're very mad that those people are making millions for doing, quote, nothing.
Right.
But they're not mad if someone wins the mega Powerball and they win $400 million. They're super excited for those people.
Yeah.
So I just try to file it all into they've won the lottery category.
I think that's smart.
And then I'm not too troubled by it.
Right.
But I think it's more the pushback is about the impact of those people, what they're putting out into the world, that you can have all this and not earn it
Right.
makes other people want to have all of that and also not earn it. I think that's the fear. But,
Or that their lifestyle's vapid, right? And that's
and they're
encouraging other people to go have vapid existence.
yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, it's interesting. It's like, there's some formula that somebody could write that's like opportunity times ambition or whatever, and it's like, in a way, these influencers or whatever, however we categorize this, they are taking an opportunity and they are applying their ambition and their particular brand of intelligence, and they are creating something.
Even
And it's very American if you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an un-American concept.
And even if you use the most obscene example of it, even that person, no one like knocked on their door. Hey, do you want to be famous and have millions of dollars? Like no one actually was sitting on their couch and someone brought in a briefcase full of money and fame. So on some level, I may not understand it, but they did something. To your point, there is some ambition there, or there's some.
Of course.
Yeah, I guess I'm judgmental of what the goal is, right? Which is like fame.
Well, that's what I worry about. So I think it's great that people take whatever opportunity is in their hand and they amplify it and they create wealth. And I think that's really wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm saying, contextually speaking, as a parent, I don't want the message to be that fame in and of itself is a career.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think you could argue that it now is, but that's not my hope.
Right.
For them.
Yeah.
Like they could be famous as a byproduct of a lot of hard work. And I'm not saying, by the way, that these influencers don't work hard. It's just a different approach.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just old, but I really would love recognition in life to come from, what's that, that the powerful wheel goes on and you shall contribute a verse, like that the verse you are contributing to the cosmic poem is something that is going to be meaningful or, move a field forward in a certain way. And maybe, maybe in retrospect, we'll look back at these influencers and think, wow, this was such a critical part. And it's new. So we're all a little resistant to it. And like, who knows how we'll look back at all this.
Yeah.
100%. We watched this a documentary called American Meme on Netflix.
Yes, I
did
watched
you see
that.
it?
Oh my God.
Oh, and the whole time, of course, I'm like,
I never
repulsed and-
heard of the slut whisperer before.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know what's funny is like,
Although I'm sure you were one in your day, Dax.
well, I'll tell you this. I looked for endless validation from people I thought were high status for sure. I definitely thought if I could get someone fancy, beautiful, and high status to love me, that I would then look in the mirror and see Brad Pitt. And it just never worked. It never ended up happening, sadly. It'd be great. It'd be a great
Sort of
shortcut.
happened.
Well,
I mean, I did end up with someone high status, but I didn't know she was high status when I met her. That I really didn't have any sense that like this person was going to validate me in some way. But prior to that, I had done that to a bunch of women. I definitely from junior high on, like, oh, that girl's out of my league. If I could get her, then I would, maybe I am better than I thought I was.
And what was it about your wife specifically that you were like, this is my person?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's very helpful if you have a partner that you have decided that they are ultimately good. And at no point when you're disagreeing with them or fighting with them, do you think their motivation is ever to destroy you, belittle you, make you feel worse, right? I think if you are certain about that with somebody, it makes the rest of it a lot easier. Because I spin narratives in my head very quickly. I can convince myself someone is out to destroy me very quickly.
Wow. Where's that from?
Well, I'm just very creative and I'm a writer and I have this huge skill set I can deploy at any time. Oh, these theories I've come up with, I've voiced a few of them on here. They're preposterous. Once I'm away from them, they're preposterous. So at any rate, I meet Kristen, and I got to say, 11 years ago, ideologically, we were very, very far apart on many, many issues. But I had at the core, I had this belief, well, this human being is a good human being. And And if she's that, then we can kind of work through everything else. And I don't know. I think that's one of the keys for me was just knowing that her intentions, her actions I might object to, but I think if I always drill deep enough, I'll find that her intentions are pretty good.
And you give her blanket benefit of the doubt. It sounds like because you know she's a good person, like she's coming from a good place.
Yes, and when I'm weaving these insane hypotheses up in my head about what she was doing, I always run it through the filter of like, well, but she'd have to be evil to be doing that, and I know for certain she's not evil.
Right.
But we, more than any relationship I've ever had, it was as dicey as it could be the first 3 years. I mean, we were in therapy every week. I don't even know why we were.
Before you were married?
Oh, yeah. We started therapy 3 months into our relationship.
That's unorthodox.
And we would have never, ever made it if we didn't do that. It is unorthodox, which is ridiculous because if you believe in the ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure, why wait till there's 7 years of wreckage to unravel and hurt feelings and betrayal and all these things? Why not start when you have a shot at forgiveness?
Well, it's so brilliant too, because if you think about, I had a therapist who said to me once that an intimate relationship is just a meditation in everything that's wrong with you. So whatever is getting kicked up for you by that person is like, oh, this is what's wrong with me. Like, I'm triggered by this. Like, this is obviously clearly unresolved. I haven't healed this trauma. Like, I'm projecting this. So if you look at it that way, then it makes perfect sense to start, I don't know, unpacking everything with the person you're going to, like, take the opportunity of this intimate relationship, even if it's not the person you end up marrying and having kids with. Like, why not go for it and explore? Like, wow, why is this person so triggering for me?
And by the way, if you start at the beginning, the solutions are incredibly easy, whereas they're very complex towards the back end of it, right?
For sure.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
It just so happens that anyone who knows me knows I have two main obsessions.
Okay.
Unbridled obsessions. One is Brad Pitt.
Oh.
I fucking love him so much, Gwyneth. I mean, I love him in a way. This is how much I love him. Like, someone said to me, how far would you go with him? And I said, hugging, yes. Some kissing, for sure. Shirts off.
Okay, let's
starting to
stop
get
right
dicey.
there.
So I would go to like shirts off and hugging. Like that's how deep it is.
Wow.
In fact, I
get it. That's like skin to skin. Like when you love someone, I get it.
Yeah. So just this crazy obsession about him since I was a young kid. The other person I'm obsessed with is Jay-Z.
Oh my gosh.
And
these are two great obsessions, by the way.
Jay-Z, I can't even explain to you what I feel when I think about him in my head. So Kristen wanted me to go to the Met Ball like 5 years in a row. And I'm like, I don't want to go to the Met Ball. I don't like it. I feel less than when I'm there. One year she goes, hey, do you want to go to the Met Ball? I think you're going to say yes this year because we'll be sitting at Jay-Z's table. 100% there. I go to New York and go to the Met Ball just so that I can win over Jay-Z. and as luck would have it, I am next to Jay-Z.
Wow.
I give Jay-Z my A game 100%. I try to win him over. I promise you if mid-meal I went to the bathroom and I bumped into him in the bathroom, he would not know I was sitting at his table. I'm convinced of it. This is one of
your crazy head stories, Jack Shepard.
I needed him to like me so much, and I know I shit the bed. It was a very poor outing.
What you have revealed about yourself through this conversation thus far, and stories that you can sometimes convince yourself of that might not be very based in actual reality. I don't think that this is true.
What if I told you that Kristen would confirm that he had very little interest?
Then I would believe you. I just find that hard to believe, though. He's a very curious and soulful person.
You know what I'd never factor into it, as we don't do, is that maybe Jay-Z hates being there. Maybe he's got something that he's maybe he had his own journey.
Any hetero husband likes being at the Met Ball.
But You know, what we don't do is we never like, I'm trapped in my own narcissism. I don't think like, oh, maybe Jay had a bad experience on the way here. Maybe something's on his mind and he wants to get home and deal with something. Any number of things that don't involve me could have been going on.
That's absolutely true.
All this leads up to, if I could have traded places with a single person on planet Earth, it'd be you.
Right.
Because you dated my boyfriend.
I was engaged to your boyfriend.
You guys were engaged?
Yeah. This is like 90s. 90s.
And what's so
90s Brad Pitt, too.
Oh my God, the height of his superpowers.
God.
Although he's doing very well.
Yeah, of
been-
Yeah, he's great. He's a really good person. He's a wonderful guy.
But what's counterintuitive about him, and I'm not revealing anything, you said this on Stern, and I know a couple other of his ex-girlfriends from that period. And what all of you are consistent in saying, which is so cute about him, is he's really into commitment, right? Like
Very much so, yeah.
he wanted to get married, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was ready to go do it.
Yeah.
And you were young.
I was too young. I mean, I was 22 when I met him.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
And you met him in Monica and I's third favorite movie of all time, Seven. Well, is that where you met him?
Yeah, that's where I met him.
We love that movie so much.
It's a good
Gwyneth.
movie. It is a good
Oh my
movie.
God, is it good?
Do you love it?
I do love it. I mean, it's quite disturbing, but it's a really good movie. I like all of David Fincher's movies.
I do too. And when you were, because I've asked you no acting questions, which you probably
Please don't.
prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to know, I have a singular question about acting, which is, what I know about David Fincher is he does like 90 takes, or he can do upwards
That was
of 90.
not the case in Seven.
Oh, it wasn't?
Not at all.
Oh, wow.
It was like 2 or 3 takes. I think this is maybe
Lore
I'm just
now?
really fucking good.
I think that might be it.
Or maybe it was something he developed later, but it was totally in the normal realm of takes. It was like not 90.
Yeah.
I genuinely would throw myself off a building if there were 90 takes. And that would be really tough.
Yeah.
So basically, we need to get Brad Pitt and Jay-Z. So if it's like going to be, what's your next big birthday?
Big ones.
40?
Probably.
How old are you?
God bless you, GP.
Are you 40 yet?
No, I turned 44 2 weeks ago.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe for your 50th birthday,
So
we'll
if-
get them to jump out of a cake.
Oh my God.
Wow. And then you die, but it'd be okay.
I would explode. It'd be the best way to go.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited that you made out with Brad and stuff.
I did more than that.
Oh my God, you guys did?
Wow.
Oh.
You heard it here first.
All right, so let's talk about current Brad for 1 second.
Okay.
Because current Brad has a superpower too.
I know.
He really does. So I met him at this party that we briefly discussed a minute ago, and it's it's more challenging than people would care to know to be with someone who is very famous and very well known. It takes a special kind of guy, I think, to have his ego right, to be able to take the back seat to his more known famous wife or partner.
Right.
And I meet this Brad guy. I got sucked into Brad's retractor beam, and I was like, oh, this guy ain't sweating it at all. He's got all kinds of charisma and charm, and he's very hyper intelligent.
Yeah.
And I think I talked to him for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, you guys were deep in it.
We got into it. We got into the weeds.
I know. He's an incredibly curious, completely non-judgmental person, and it's such a good combo because you find yourself overhearing these conversations, and he's like, there's nothing small about any of the talk. It's like, how on earth are you getting this far with somebody? And it's just like the stuff that you want to know and that stays with you. But that's my point. Like I overheard part of the conversation, and that's what I was saying earlier, that I had no idea at that point you'd had this incredible life and you were dealing with all kinds of stuff, but that you were approaching masculinity, fatherhood, monogamy, sobriety in a really amazing way. It was very inspiring to hear you talk about all this stuff. And it was because I could, his questions he asks really good questions.
He asks incredibly good questions, and you're right. You immediately sense in him that his ultimate goal is not a conclusion or judgment. His ultimate goal is like knowing about you.
Correct.
Which brings me back. Did you momentarily major in anthropology?
No, I wanted to.
Oh, you wanted
I wanted
to.
to, but I never got far enough. I quit college to try to be an actress.
It worked out. But you were going to UCSB?
I was.
Did you
It's
take an
great.
intro class with Shagnon?
Oh, wait. This is ringing up. Did you go to UCSB?
I didn't. I went to UCLA and I majored
Oh.
in anthropology. But
my God.
the reason I majored in anthropology is probably at the time you were there, I was on a road trip visiting friends that went to school there, and I sat in on Shagnon's intro to anthro.
I think I was in that.
Oh my goodness, we may have been in the same fucking classroom. But he's the one who worked with the Yanomamo. He was down in Brazil and doing the green hallucinogenic and stuff and hitting people in the heads with boards. I mean, it was such a tantalizing, exotic kind of life that guy had lived that I was like, ooh, this is what I want to study. I want to go to the jungle and do drugs and stuff and hit each other with boards and just get wild, you know?
Oh my God.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
Do you value privacy a ton, or are you kind of like open book, or you feel like people are allowed in, or are you?
I think
Great
that's
question.
an interesting, I mean, I think, by virtue of the fact that I'm a public person, there are private aspects of my life that have been in the public for
Since you're
20,
20.
Since my 22 years old. And I think that there are things that I keep very private. I don't like to put my children out into the public. Once in a while, if it's someone's birthday or something, like I'll include them in Instagram posts because they love, they want, it's fun for them. But we don't take them to premieres or anything like we try to keep that very, reasonably private. But I do feel like a lot of things that I think people would consider really private, it's almost like my duty to share, like the mistakes and the vulnerabilities. And I think that's sort of part of being a public person. It's like, so you kind of walk the gauntlet, and a lot of other people can learn from your mistakes and your successes, your key learnings in life.
I certainly feel this way about Kristen and I, where people have seemed to embrace us as a couple, and they have, some people have decided that that's kind of the North Star of what one should be. And knowing that, I feel this deep obligation to go like, oh, by the way, it takes a shitload of work.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not, I didn't find the one. I found someone I respected and we made it the one together. I think it's incumbent upon you in a weird way when people look up to you to really kind of own your defects and your blemishes so that they're not measuring themselves against the Gwyneth Paltrow they see on the cover of a magazine, because that's just a dicey, right?
Airbrushed, whatever. It's to be a person in the public eye to the degree that I am and have been for all these years. I don't think I'll truly understand what the purpose of it was, and for a long time. But there must be some purpose to it, because I'm here and this is my life, and I'm impacting people's lives in ways they like and don't like. And I'm starting conversations and, triggering people and resonating with people. And it's like, wow, okay, well, this is something, like God put me here for something. I'm just gonna, I guess, like keep being true to myself and doing my thing. And maybe one day I'll understand, like in a greater context, what the point of it was.
Well, what I like about your thing is it's not like you're telling us, you haven't dedicated your life to the best rental car company in the world. Like, you're clearly, what you're putting out is the things that you genuinely are super interested in, right? Like, you're very interested in food.
I'm very interested in people having autonomy over their lives and optimization.
And what does it mean to have autonomy over your life?
Like, for example, I think for a lot of women specifically, there's been this thing in the culture of like, I don't feel well, something's wrong, and doctors are like, you're fine. This is a recurrent theme that we've heard over and over again. There's nothing in your blood work, you're fine. No, genuinely, I'm telling you, like, something's off. I don't feel well. I don't know what it is. And there's, like, for example, when they test drugs, they test them on white men. There's very little study behind the science, and we're so different.
Well, the Ambien thing, they come to find out Ambien is twice as powerful in women than men. That's why these women
Right.
are like driving to 7-Eleven to buy Twizzlers in a blackout.
Right. So I think that, at Goop, we try to say, hey, there are a lot of questions you can ask. And it can be about food, relationship, health, wellness, fashion, anything. And going back to shame, like nothing eliminates shame, like opening a forum to say, it's just okay to ask this question. So whether it's about sexual health, whether it's about, eating or not eating lectins or whatever, it's like, let's just create a space where we can ask the questions. And we get really fascinated by some of the more alternative therapies or modalities or approaches to things. Because we think, when we see maybe there's not like a double-blind placebo-backed study on acupuncture, but you can see like anecdotally, wow, I couldn't get pregnant. And then I started acupuncture and now I'm pregnant, there are those really interesting. So people can think acupuncture is bananas, or they can think, wow, there's a lot of anecdotal evidence here that it really helps people.
Also, the cost of experimenting with something isn't that high. It's
Right.
like, it doesn't. So I have psoriatic arthritis. I tried every single Western option known to
Right.
man. And my wife's like, I'm sending you to an Ayurvedic healer to do Panchakarma cleanse. I'm like, that's horseshit. It's whatever. I went and did it. Lo and behold, my joints didn't hurt. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I've got to acknowledge that really happened.
The body has amazing capacity to heal itself.
Yeah. But okay, so I heard you talking about when you were referencing like Instagram and everything, you sound like you're smart enough to go, oh, am I just being the parents who watched the Beatles and freaked out?
Well, exactly.
Right? Like you have the ability to zoom out to a macro thing and just go, oh, am I just behaving like an older person? Now, I do want to ask you this. So we had this great doctor on here, Dr. Wendy Mogul. She said that in absence of religion, and she's not a shill for a religion, it's not like she's pro-religion,
Right.
that often you see a pattern where people start getting religious about food.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife was listening to the episode and she goes, oh my God, I so have what Wendy was saying. Like,
Right.
I've made food my religion.
Yeah.
And with it comes like this weird propensity towards shame and toxifying and detoxifying, all these things that are really kind of
Interesting.
religious concepts of purity
Wow.
and sin. And it maps
God,
quite
that's
beautifully
fascinating.
onto our kind of inherent, in our DNA, we have a propensity for religion. Like it's
Right.
part of our evolution. So do you ever say to yourself, oh, I might also just be like, that thing might be filling that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, look, what is the point of religion? It's to give a context to this thing of being human. Like we want there to be meaning behind our suffering. We don't just want to be abjectly suffering. We want to be getting somewhere. We want to believe that, when we do something good, there's the butterfly effect to that. Like it has ramifications. I think it's a very human feeling to want to feel interconnected and to assign a context to our lives. And so I think that's what religion does. And perhaps in this modern era, other things are able to offer us context.
Yeah. What are your self-esteem builders?
The factors that have impacted my self-esteem most are my relationship with my husband and my children. When my children when I see them free to be themselves and, singing when they think nobody's listening, and like their baseline, like, of course, life is really hard and there are ups and downs and they have, sad days and whatever, but I'm so happy with their baseline. When all is said and done, like they start at a good place, and so I think that says to me like, hey, I haven't totally botched this up, right? Like
Yeah.
the values that I try to instill in them, and Chris as well, trying to make an atmosphere of home and love and support and non-judgment, like not parenting out of instinct, but parenting out of like, okay, who am I trying to put into the world and how can I do that?
Yeah.
And when you get little indications that like it might be working, I think it feels great.
How about when they're nice to each other? Is there a greater feeling in the world?
No,
Oh,
it is the greatest.
when they're kind to one another and no one's watching. If
I
you like
know.
catch it through a window.
And it doesn't happen that often.
No, they're assholes in general. I mean, we're not born nice. We got to go through the grinder to get that way.
I also I want to say, because I do think it's important, but I think like when you feel free in your sexuality, it's a very good self-esteem builder.
Tell me more literally what that means.
I just mean like if you can, like it's such a specific space to be in, right? Like having sex with your partner.
Yeah.
And like I think to be in that space and to be who you really are and to be seen and not judged for that, like I think that is a universal self-esteem builder.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so required for connection and maintenance and all that. And I do think that the sexual component of a relationship is by far the hardest to maintain over time.
Right.
Because it requires vulnerability about the thing generally we're all most fearful of.
Right.
Like, are we enough? Do we fulfill the person we'd like to fulfill? It requires the most heightened sense of vulnerability, I think, which generally is why people will put it off or not deal with it.
Right.
And it's so easy for that thing to break down and just so hard to repair.
Yes. That is such a good point.
And that was basically my last question was just simply, what did you enter into your marriage with Brad going, I'm going to do this aspect right this time? Like, what is this time? I got another shot at it.
Yeah. I think this time the intention that I've set is, I think that I have made a full commitment through the extreme fear and vulnerability to find true intimacy and to stick with it. And I couldn't handle it last time. I wasn't ready to deal with all of the unhealed stuff that would come up through just like unbroken eye contact with somebody, and, you know, both literally and metaphorically, like somebody observing me fully as I see you and I'm observing this, and like having to face what I hadn't healed yet, which real intimacy was bringing up. And like, I was always a person who was oscillating through relationships, and I had a lot of walls up that I didn't even know. And it wasn't natural to be fully accountable for that stuff. And, you know, you can always it's so easy to blame your partner. Like, I'm fine. I'm ready for this. Like, look at that maniac who's doing X, Y, and Z, you know? And the truth is, like, you have chosen that person for whatever reason. And a lot of times we choose people that we can hide behind.
But it's hard for it's very hard for me, and I'm sure it's even harder for other people to imagine that you would have insecurities.
Oh my God. I had so many. I mean, I think this is one of the beautiful things about a woman post 40 is like at a certain point, you're like, fuck it. Like, I'm going to be who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look in the mirror and be so critical of everything. And I'm not going to, you know, rehash every mistake I've ever made in my life and flagellate myself for it. Like, I really did feel when I turned 40, I could feel a real shift. And I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore, because I was ruled by my insecurities and like by the idea that I was unlovable. And I kept just trying to prove that out.
Yeah. And it's so crazy to imagine you having those fears, but we all have them. It's the human existence.
Absolutely. Wait, I just have to ask the same question. So like, what, having now been in this intimate relationship for all these years, what is the most profound lesson that you get from being married?
The thing that I think I can't speak for Kristen, but I can speak for myself, which is I now know, I've learned to recognize the difference between an annoyance and an actual issue.
Right.
So I'm not going to like the fact that Kristen doesn't close cupboard doors. She doesn't put the tops on things. There's all kinds of things that are going to annoy me about her.
I do that too.
I can tell, I now have a great radar system that when we start debating something, and it can be innocuous, it can be about some topic, whatever, if I can feel in my chest, I'm starting to get heated and my breathing's starting to get constricted and my nostrils are starting to flare, I now say to myself, oh, she just hit a fear. And I will say to her, hey, please let me pause. I'm going to go in the room for 10 minutes and I'm just going to kind of think through what fear is actually being triggered, because I don't think it's about the cupboard doors. I guess my message to people would be basically in relationships when things are getting heated, that's a great time for you to take a look at what fear is being triggered, because just
So important for husbands to hear that.
yeah.
You really are very evolved, Dax.
Well, thank you so much. I think you are too. And you don't trigger me at all. You make me feel good. And I look at the things you put out into the world and I go, oh, this person just I love watching someone explore things they love. I watch documentaries about hand gliders. I'm not going to hand glide, but I go, wow, look at this person. They're expressing this thing they're committed their life to. And I look at you and I go, this is awesome. I don't agree with half the stuff you're saying. I'm never going to eat like you, but I'm delighted to witness you be on fire for something.
Thank you.
It's fun to watch.
Thank you so much.
I adore you, and I look forward to the next time we
Same.
bump into each other. You're kind of like a little a life raft now when I go to these things, and I feel insecure.
You can always come to me.
All right, I will.
Sit in my lap in
All
a
right.
platonic way.
Yeah, in the most platonic way.
Thank you.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman. What goes in that pretty little head of yours? What goes on in this place where I park? I feel like I may have been talking out my butt. Hey, Monica, can you check it out? This is a disaster. I suppose there's truth in every little lie. I feel it's important to recognize. Hey, Monica. Hey, Monica. Harmonica. I like that they added harmonica.
Oh, yeah, that was a wrench they threw in.
They did. Chris Giffen did.
Thanks, Chris.
At Dirty Frank. DRTY Frank.
That was a nice song.
It sure was.
Thank you for singing it.
Yeah, I'll keep trying. I'll get. Well, so far, I don't think I've gotten one that was above a D, but we'll keep working on it.
Something to aspire to.
Yeah. Good morning, Monica. Welcome to today's fact check.
Welcome.
Welcome to you.
Welcome to you.
Welcome to you too. Who are we fact checking?
Gwyneth.
Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Let's talk about Gwenny Powell. Whoa. Because you, as I've said on here, this always embarrasses you, but occasionally we've had a few guests where I look over and you are just full retractor beam caught in someone's love web.
Yeah.
And I've only seen it with boys.
Mm-hmm.
As we all know, Monica loves boys.
She sure does.
She sure do. But boy, I looked over and you were gobsucked.
Gobsmacked.
You were gobsmacked by Gwyneth Paltrow's powers, weren't you?
Yes. I walked up to the attic and she was standing there. And let me say, well, first of all, I love Goop. My mom and I love Goop.
Okay.
My mom, Kristen, and I.
You're already a fan of Goop.
Yes. In fact, Kristen and I talked beforehand about should I wear some clothes that are from her website.
Oh, okay.
And I said no. And Kristen said yes.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't. I stuck to my guns. And I was cool. I played it cool. I wore regular stupid jeans.
Street clothes.
And a stupid sweatshirt, probably. I don't remember exactly what it was. But
This is so you and I. This
What?
is our approach. We've talked about it before.
trying to be so cool.
Yeah, like we don't even care about you.
Yeah.
We
Like I
ignore
didn't
you.
even brush my hair today, Gwyneth. But I came up and she was standing there and I felt like she was just glowing and wearing no makeup and glowing. And I immediately felt completely inadequate. Like I hated myself as soon as I saw her.
That, I think, is why she's so triggering
It's
to people.
exactly why. I mean, I was smart enough to know that that was my thing.
Your stuff.
She clearly couldn't have done anything because she was just standing there. So,
By the way, yeah, she hadn't even put on makeup. If anything, she's probably downplaying
although
everything.
she was wearing the cutest outfit. Oh my God.
You
And
loved
then-
it. We got home from that. Kristen said, "Who'd you guys just interview?" And we said, "Gwyneth Paltrow." And immediately she looked at it and she goes, "What was she wearing?"
Yeah. And we just had a field day talking about it. And we found the sweater. I almost bought it, but I didn't buy it.
But I wouldn't have known one article. Like, it was just a minute ago. I don't remember if she was wearing jeans or a blouse or a dress or a snowmobile suit. Like, I remember her face and all the things she said, but the outfit blew right over my head.
It was these awesome wide leg jeans. They were rolled, but they were kind of like culotte-y a little bit. They were jeans though. They were rolled. And then this gorgeous sweater, blue, striped. It kind of had like a puffy shoulder.
You can see it right now in your head.
Oh,
can't
yeah.
you?
Yeah, I can.
Oh,
and
wow.
remember, oh my God, you embarrassed me so badly.
That's what dads do. What I do.
So she had the most gorgeous handbag. And it was sitting by sort of my feet. And I saw it and I said, oh my gosh, is this yours? I love this. And you said, that looks just like yours. And you pointed to my, stinky, my stinky, ratty old,
yak gallbladder.
just looks like a fucking barf bag. And you pointed it out, so then she had to see it, and then she probably felt like she had to be like, yeah, it's the same. Oh my God.
Dad.
It's so embarrassing.
I know exactly. Like, for me, the what would be analogous is that Jay Leno came over in a McLaren, the 3-seater McLaren. You're like, oh, Dax has the same car, and then you pointed to my pickup truck. And I'd be like,
I bet it's
oh,
even
God.
worse than that. Your
Is
pickup
it?
truck's like nice. Well, look, my bag's fine. I
It's
don't want
lovely.
now I feel, now
Did someone get that for you for a present?
No.
Oh, I thought maybe that's why you just felt guilty.
No, but I don't want someone to see me on the street with it and then act like, that's the one you're talking about? That's a nice bag. I like that bag, or I have that bag. I
Right.
don't want anyone to think that. But let me tell you, it was not in the same atmosphere as Gwyneth's bag.
Okay. I love this girl stuff. I can't relate at all to what you're talking about. Like, when I looked at her bag and your bag, I did see the same
I
thing.
know.
I wasn't speaking it in truth. That was legit. I was like, oh, well, don't you have the same one? I really thought it was the same one.
Anyway, yeah. So I felt completely inadequate
Mm-hmm.
and awestruck. And it really was like, oh yeah, some people just have that thing.
The X Factor. You have the X Factor. What are you talking about? Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I don't have that thing she has.
I hate your guts. I hate your guts. You have the X Factor.
No, I do not have the thing that she has, where people walk in and then they think like, oh, I could die right now.
You're right. You don't have the same X Factor. Like, I don't have the same X Factor that Jimmy Kimmel has. They're different X Factors, but you have
You
the
guys
X Factor.
probably have similar ones.
You're
actually.
right. That was a bad example.
Well, so this was interesting. So I had this like very heightened experience here with her. And then I went back and I was listening. The thing about her really is
Visual?
it's in person.
Mm.
It's not, I mean, she's obviously, everyone's listened to this episode. It's wonderful. She's so thoughtful and interesting and
Honest
smart and
and
honest.
humble.
Oh, yeah. She's fantastic. But the thing where you literally feel like you don't, like you're on stilts or something, like you like are so unstable.
Unbalanced.
Yeah.
Unstable.
That's an in-person thing. Like when I was listening back, I didn't feel that same thing that's not real. It's just this crazy feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, I guess, if I'm being honest, and I think I mentioned it, when I did the first time I ever saw her in real life in John's living room,
Mm-hmm.
I too was like, oh, that's why she's a movie star. Like,
you said that.
Yeah, she's a pretty overwhelming presence.
Yeah.
Even though she comes in very soft and humble.
Yes.
Yeah, there's kind of like an angelic quality, I guess, there.
Yeah. But
She's also built like a brick shithouse. I just want to put that out in the universe.
Sure.
Yeah.
yeah, but so it did make me feel like, well, it just made me think about my own insecurities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, do I wish I had that? Yes, of course. I wish I had that thing. But I also think that there's a benefit maybe to the opposite thing, which I have more of, which is I'm totally unremarkable.
Unassuming.
Unremarkable.
Okay.
And then when you get to know me a little more, I become a little bit more interesting as opposed to the opposite way. I'm not saying Gwyneth becomes less interesting, but
Right.
I'm just,
I feel that way about myself, and I like that. because I personally like to earn stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like I want you to have some opinion of me before you meet me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like the opportunity to show you who I am. And then hopefully you like that person.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so she was
Overwhelming.
overwhelming.
But the reason I was excited to have her on is because, and I said this, I heard her on Stern,
Mm-hmm.
and I was way more delighted to find out that she's so normal and humble.
Yeah.
Because I can't relate to someone who's a superstar with an Academy Award
Right.
who seems to eat perfect and everything.
Right.
But then to hear her, that's what I really became attracted to her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But she really does something to people.
Mhm.
People they feel what I felt, but they, like, for some, I don't know how it happened, but I felt inadequate, but I didn't put it on her. I
Right.
didn't then say, like, oh, she
Sure.
thinks she's better
That's
than
what
me.
people do. They feel less than
Yeah.
and they assume the person's doing that intentionally. Like
I
they think they're
know.
better than you. But that woman does not think she's better than anybody.
No.
That's the truth.
No, not at all.
No.
No.
It's really fascinating.
Yeah.
She's one of the more fascinating people in that way.
Yeah.
Very triggering.
Very.
It's weird because, like, guys, I can't think of a guy that has that effect. Because, like, Brad Pitt is the equivalent of her, basically. Like,
right.
you just see him. I've seen him in real life. I'm like, God, man, do you have a stylist just for when you wake up in the morning? Like, whatever he's wearing to me looks like
Perfect.
Like, you know,
Uh-huh.
or whatever hairdo he has. I'm like, oh, that's the coolest hairdo you can have.
Yeah.
But guys don't seem to hate him for that.
Yes, I just had a conversation on Marco Polo with my girlfriends. We're on a group Marco Polo, about 5 of us girls, my mom included. And we were talking about another guest that's coming up, another female guest that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And another one that's labeled intimidating a lot.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking about her, and she's just fucking phenomenal. I can't wait to release that episode.
Oh,
but
yeah.
she was incredible. And I was saying to my girls, it's weird because this intimidation factor, when women feel it, they, again, just to perpetuate this gender disparity.
Asterisks.
Yes.
This is anecdotal, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, I say it so that we can try to fix it, you know?
Yeah.
That when I, in my experience, when women are intimidated by other women, they put it on the other person. It's very outward about the other.
Yeah.
And when men feel intimidated, I think it's more internal.
Mm-hmm.
I think then they are like, oh, I want that.
Yes. Yeah. When I look at Brad Pitt, I am never mad at him for
Yeah.
looking at like that. I'm just like, fuck. Well, at least I can try to get his body in Fight Club. Like I can change my body to look like his.
Yeah. Like it becomes an internal thing of trying to achieve that other thing, not competing for that other thing. Although, which is weird because there is like male, like,
But I
alpha
never look at him and
status.
go like, oh, he thinks he's better than everyone. I look at him and go, oh, he is better than everyone. And I just feel
Yeah.
inferior to him. I don't think he thinks he's better than anyone.
Right.
There might be some interesting male-female thing here.
I think it is. Well, and I do think in general, females, they emote outwardly. That's why they're good nurturers, because they can take care of others and they're very aware of others. And I think men are a little bit less.
You even see this in parenting, right? It's like when you get pregnant and you start bumping into other women who have had kids,
Mm-hmm.
immediately they'll start saying like, oh, I did a vaginal birth. Like that's phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did a vaginal birth without an epidural. That's like phase 2. Then I had a home birth.
Right.
Now I had a baby. I had my baby in our bed.
Tub, yeah.
And then the woman that's hearing this, that's pregnant, starts taking on all this stuff of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, that's what you got to do to be a perfect mom. Is you got to have it in the back of a fucking horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah.
For it to be pure.
Yeah.
And there's all this guilt and shame and competition about the mother. I never are the dads going like, yeah, I'm gonna be in the delivery room drunk. And then the next one's I'm gonna be sober. I'm gonna help deliver the baby.
I'm gonna cut the
cord. Or
yeah.
I'm gonna be in the bathtub adding a cold compress to my wife's forehead. Guys aren't
doing that.
getting into that, interestingly.
Yeah.
There's all this mom shaming,
There
I guess
is.
is what I'm saying.
Oh,
There's very
there
little
is.
dad shaming.
Yeah.
And I think it's terrible, but I also think it's mostly driven by intra-sex. I
Yeah,
don't think
totally.
men are generally going like, in fact, I've never heard a dude go, oh my God, did you hear that Brian's wife is only breastfeeding for 6 months?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. Like, guys aren't really evaluating how good of a mother is by whether she breastfed or not, how long she breastfed, what kind of delivery she had.
Yeah.
Something curious there.
Yeah. I think that's interesting. But I also think what I said, I don't know if I made that point well, but I think biologically and evolutionarily speaking, there's like a reason women are focused on others and men are more focused on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I see that as a sort of a pattern. And
Yeah.
so it comes off in good ways and bad ways.
Yeah. The
To
fact
wrap
that
up,
you're
I love
on
your
a
bag.
chain,
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself is so male-female. The fact that you have or a Marco Polo
Uh-huh.
group of women where you guys discuss all these things, you guys like to talk about everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
guys just generally aren't on, or in my life, guys aren't on these chains where we kind of discuss stuff, which is
Right, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. I feel so lucky to be a woman.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
That's really
well, I'm
fun.
half, as you know, half girl, so
Sure.
I kind of would like to be on that chain too.
You're not very good at Marco Polo.
I hate it. I mean, I like it. I think it's the coolest app. I turned off the notifications for it.
Clearly.
I had to.
Yeah.
Because I'm on these group ones with my family and they're coming in every 30 seconds. I can't have that thing going off. So I turned off notifications and then I just don't remember to open that app to see if I have anything. And then when I do, it's the most daunting things. There's like 65 different videos I have to watch.
Yeah.
Whew. Ugh.
You're privileged.
I was just going to say first country problems. Is that the old hashtag?
First world.
First world.
Are we even allowed to say that anymore, though?
I
I
don't
think
know. I never
recently I
liked
told
that.
we weren't allowed to. Or third world is something we're not allowed to say.
Oh, okay. I won't then. I always
what does that
hated
even mean?
I always hated that first world hashtag. So like you're kind of venting about something, and then someone basically says, you're an entitled asshole for having that concern. Which I just think people's concerns are their concerns. I don't think there's a hierarchy. It's like whatever's ailing you, you should talk about. You shouldn't feel shame that that's the thing you're wrestling with.
Yeah.
I understand it's like some attempt to keep people humble, but there's other ways to stay humble.
I agree. I think it's good to check in
Mhm.
with your place in the world and know, like, if you're spending an hour like bummed that the door on the jet is stuck, like we can have some recognition that like we're doing fine and it's okay.
Yeah, but even that, the door on the jet, right?
Yeah, we should just tell people this really
Yeah,
happened to us.
so because we were in town on business in San Antonio for Hello Bello.
Yep.
And one of our partners has a jet.
Yep.
So we took that, which
Yes.
is fucking awesome.
It was awesome.
It was we all got to just show up and get on and take off 5 minutes later.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then when we left, the door became stuck.
Jammed.
Which
Yeah.
they can't take off if the door's stuck. Not the one leading out of the plane, but within the cabin.
Yes.
And we were stuck in there for like 20 minutes, right?
Yep.
So that part is completely unrelatable, unsympathetic. Poor you, your private jet door was stuck. But what was relatable is I really wanted to get home because I was leaving to go to New York 7 hours later.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I want that door open and why it's a problem is I want to sleep.
Of course.
I want to see the kids. I want to, there's all these real human things happening under the belly of the.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not. I'm
Yeah.
not saying, but it is incumbent on the person who is sitting on a jet
Yeah.
to have some awareness that, like, to not consider it to be like the worst thing that's happening because it's just not the
Which
worst
we
thing.
didn't. We were
No, we
laughing
didn't.
the whole time.
We didn't.
and-
I just use that as an example of
Yeah.
a crazy thing.
Oh, well, no. So the next day, 7 hours later, I flew to New York on the jet because it was, again, business.
Yes.
I feel so, that makes me so nervous, right?
I
That someone
know.
would think that I pay for a private jet. That's my own insecurity. Anyways, we flew there. We landed in New York at Teterboro, whatever. We just got off the plane. We're in the little private airport lobby, and this like 65-year-old man with a fucking U.S. squash hat comes up to me and Ben and someone else and goes, "Did you guys just leave Burbank?" did you depart from Burbank? And we go, yeah. And he goes, we were stuck behind you. You made us 25 minutes late. They wouldn't let us pass you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, okay, cool story, dude.
Yeah.
He left, and I'm like, the 2 points of that were, A, my jet's faster than yours.
Mm-hmm.
And you were 20 minutes late in your private jet. And yes, I was like, look at this fucking asshole. He's already on a private plane. He's mad at us that our jet was 20 minutes slower.
And
what a repugnant exchange this was.
Yes. And then when you told me that story, I agree, but also think maybe he's a person who recognized you and wanted to talk to you and is not so equipped to come up with the right thing to say. So he said that.
Yeah, that's a very benevolent take on it, which I should aspire to that. But I don't think this guy knew that me from a hole in the wall.
I don't think you.
I mean,
can
do
know
65-year-old squash players, are they my demo?
I know,
Because
they
if
might
so, I
be.
need to change a few things about my messaging.
They might be. Okay,
All right.
So you said that you had a couple toes removed before the interview, and that is a big lie. You had surgery on one of your toes.
Yeah, my middle toe on my right foot because I have psoriatic arthritis and one of the joints fused. It wouldn't move, and it was very painful when I did sprints or hiked.
Yeah.
So I went in originally to just have that knuckle kind of cut down and allow it to straighten out. And when he did the x-ray, he said, your phalange in your foot is too long. This should be an arc.
Right.
We should shorten this while I'm in there.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for a good upsell.
Clearly. You planned it, dare I say, extremely poorly. You planned it
2 days before our live show.
2 days before our live show. The day before this important interview.
Yeah.
And
But I had no choice. It was either I did it then or I did it in June.
June would have been fine.
Well, then I would have been a little bit hurt when I hiked.
Oh, that's true.
Hashtag first world problems.
I don't want that to happen. No, that's not. That's not. People can hike everywhere.
That's true. It's very democratizing
Exercise. Yeah. It doesn't require a gym.
No, they don't. There's no admission
That's
price.
right. So anyway, how do you think your toe looks now? I think it looks so cute.
Well, let's just say at the time of the interview, I had a steel rod through the toe that was to keep it straight while it healed.
Yes.
Side note, I took a video of it being removed, and the video is 40 seconds long. I thought they were just going to jerk it right out like a tooth.
Yeah.
No, he worked it out slowly over the course of 40 seconds, and it's a gnarly video. But anyways, my toe is now would best be described as the toe from a chubby 6-year-old. That's what it looks like. A chubby 6-year-old's toe in the middle of my long gangly toe. My foot is so gross looking now. It's ridiculous.
No, it's not at all. It's not at all gross, but it is fun. It's a little bit funny.
And I deserve it because I used to brag about how beautiful my feet are. I even showed off my feet on Kimmel one time, how elegant the arch was and sophisticated the whole thing was. And then I got my comeuppance because now one foot doesn't have a nail on it. Another one's got a baby toe on it. The whole thing, it looks comical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I bet they're only getting worse.
Well, this is what happens when you get older.
Yeah,
of all the things to deteriorate visually, your feet, that's a good one.
Do you think I should have the rest of the toes shortened to match?
That'd be great.
That one?
But just keep your big toe big, and then the rest
So there's-
just tiny babies.
Something for reference.
Okay, so you asked her if she was a singer,
Mm-hmm.
if she liked singing and stuff, because you were talking about Coldplay and Chris Martin. But you forgot, or maybe you didn't know, that she was in that movie Duets.
That her dad directed.
Yes, and she sings in that. She sings Cruisin'. Well, she sings, I think, multiple things, but she sings that song Cruisin'.
Cruising on a Sunday afternoon.
No, that's not
not
it.
the Motown Cruising?
No. She sings it with Huey Lewis, and it's,
Houston Lewis.
I can't sing it, but
Why not?
because,
Do you know how it goes?
no, I don't want to. I'm scared of it.
I'd peer pressure you, but I know that's going to yield zero results. Stalwart. against any peer pressure. Oh, I love
That's it.
it when we're cruising together. There's I'm made in love. I love it when we're cruising to Smokey Robinson.
That's it. Oh, really?
Yeah, right?
Oh.
Yeah, 1974. And then
Smokey.
D'Angelo did it too.
Ooh.
It's a good song.
Yeah. wish
After I
could
watched that
remember
movie, I sang it a lot
Yeah, it's a
in my
good one,
bedroom.
but not on here.
No. And you know, on here she said that she really liked harmonizing.
Oh, yeah.
So she probably did a lot of harmonizing there.
Your mother likes that too, Kristen. She's obsessed with this new Ben Platt album or song that's out. And I heard her listening to it on YouTube by herself, harmonizing in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I think it's cute.
It's so cute. It's so cute. So that's a good movie. And she sings in it.
All that to say,
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah. I mean, just going back a little bit to her being so triggering for people. If people are triggered by her and then they listen to this, I hope that they take away just like a girl who loves her dad,
Yes.
just like anyone else, you know?
A lot.
A lot.
Oh, the
yeah.
way she talks about her dad.
Yeah.
It's made me tear up a few times.
Yeah, you're a baby. So, conscious uncoupling.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book by Catherine Woodward Thomas called Conscious Uncoupling, The 5 Steps to Living Happily Even After. Happily Even After. Get it?
I do get it. Even. She added the word even.
Instead of ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Happily
replaced the
even
R
after.
with an N. I
Yeah.
think that's cheeky and I like it.
Me too.
I love the idea of conscious
Yes.
uncoupling. what's
Versus
wrong
your
with it?
parents are talking shit on each other
I
and fighting
know.
over what day you're there. I mean, what a terrible way to.
I know.
And then you got to appease each parent by acting like you hate the other one. I mean, it's all
Oh, it's
that
dangerous.
versus like getting along and being peaceful.
I know. I don't see how anyone could.
Be against that.
Yeah.
Well, again, I know why, because a lot of people have really hard divorces
They
and
do.
it's really difficult. And then they're like, oh, great, she even got divorced perfectly.
Right.
You know, I can't stand this bitch wife of mine. And somehow
Yeah.
Gwyneth is spending the holidays with him. I get it,
I
but
know.
it's not. That's your shit, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. So you talk a lot about Brad Pitt, your love.
I wish she would have told us more details about what it was like to be intimate with him.
Well, she said that they did more than kiss.
Well, I presumed that, but I wish she would have like given numerical rating to his lovemaking or
Right.
describe
You-
what his penis looked like.
Oh,
I have to
boy.
imagine
Oh.
it's just beautiful.
It's just getting out of control.
No, don't you imagine he has a beautiful penis?
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, very
I'd
even
I'd
skin
like to
tone.
see it.
Yeah, we all would. I think
Yeah, mainly me.
that's the great unifier, Brad Pitt.
That's true. I think that's probably true. But she also dated my boyfriend.
Yeah.
and that did not come up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You were really focused on your own
You should
boyfriend.
have asked her what
What?
it's like to kiss.
No, I wouldn't have asked details like that.
That's
Even though I'm
unladylike.
curious.
Of course. Well, I'm guarantee you would have loved to get a description of his pee-pee.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I told you the other day, you can see it just a tiny bit in the movie Gone Girl. Just
Just a
side view.
Glimpse.
So quick.
But you saw a penis.
But yeah,
yeah.
I registered that as seeing his penis.
Uh-huh.
And I liked it.
And am I right in that no matter what his penis looked like, that would be the perfect penis for you?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't have
That should be comforting to dudes.
Yeah.
Like if the girl likes you, she's going to think you have the perfect
That's
penis.
right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I would be much harsher in my critique of his penis. I would have a lot of different metrics by which I would evaluate Ben's penis.
I'm sure.
Skin tone,
Okay.
freckles,
Freckles?
size of the meatus.
What's that mean?
That's the head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All kinds of things. I'd really be harsh in my evaluation of it.
That's interesting because I'm not doing that with girls' boobs.
No.
No, I'm not a harsh critic of them.
Well, again, we talked about the weird things girls do. Well, the weird thing boys do is they're so penis obsessed. It's crazy,
I
you know.
So weird.
I know.
Okay, and then you told Gwyneth that she met Brad doing our third favorite movie of all time. But why'd you say third?
I don't know. Well, it's not our first. Seven's not our first favorite movie,
I
is it?
guess not, but it's like I guess it's third.
Upon closer inspection, I guess it is indeed.
Well, I don't
third.
know what first or second is. What do you think first or second is?
Well, for
and are you
me-
talking about our mutual? What? I don't even.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Well, yeah. I like, I think I like Michael Clayton more.
And you like The Prestige.
I love The Prestige.
Do you like it more or less than 7?
I'd say it's a tie.
Mm.
No, I like 7 more than The Prestige.
Mm-hmm.
But, my number 1 is, of course, Taken by Thief. That's my favorite
Movie of all
drama.
time.
Yeah, drama. of
Well,
all
obviously, my favorite movie of all time is Good
time.
Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting, right. I guess maybe for our overlap, it might be our first favorite movie
Yeah.
that's shared, I
Yeah.
guess. That's possible.
Might be. Even though
We
you
love Gone Girl, though, too.
Oof, love it.
We love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see that pee-pee?
See the little pee-pee. But did you get
We see a little pee-pee, not
Oh,
a little.
I would
not
never-
a tiny pee-pee.
I don't know if it's tiny, it's fine.
I know, but we see a little bit of pee-pee.
That's right.
You weren't saying that you thought it was little or big.
I could not decipher the size.
Right.
And if we're clarifying, I'm not talking about pee-pee as in urine.
Right. Yeah.
Pee-pee penis.
Yeah. Right.
Wait, fuck. What was I going to say?
Girth. I'd be really evaluating
No,
girth, the
Gone Girl.
vascularity.
You like Good Will Hunting separately, though, because you went on a first date there.
I love Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
I love that movie. And I've done a lot of introspection about why that movie was so,
Good.
yeah. And I think that all of us have a fantasy that we're secretly a genius that no one's discovered. Like we like to believe that we're the janitor at MIT. Like there's something about that story that had this wish fulfillment aspect that we all feel super special in some way that no one's discovered. I stand by that.
That's interesting. I like that theory. I don't know if I agree, but I like it.
It's good theory.
So Shagnon, the anthro teacher,
Mm-hmm.
he's an American anthropologist, professor of anthropology at the University of Missouri in Columbia, and member of the National Academy of Sciences. So I guess maybe he used to work
He
at
used to be at UCB.
UCSB, yeah. UCB. He used to teach improv.
He could if he got that green hallucinogenic shot up his nose. He could probably improv circles around Manzukis.
No one can.
You're right. I just wanted to throw
Poke.
someone good at
I
it.
just wanted to
It
poke.
was basically like saying he'd be better at basketball than Michael Jordan if he was on it.
Right.
So it's a compliment to Manzukis.
Right. Shagnon is known for his long-term ethnographic field work among the Yanomamo, a society of indigenous tribal Amazonians, in which he used an evolutionary approach to understand social behavior in terms of genetic relatedness.
Yanomamo, the fierce people.
His work had centered on the analysis of violence among tribal peoples, and using sociobiological analysis, he has advanced the argument that violence among them is fueled by an evolutionary process in which successful warriors have more offspring.
Now, I do want to say I'm a huge fan of Shagnon.
Mm-hmm.
It's really what got me into anthropology,
Yeah.
is those videos. But there is some criticism as well.
He's been called the most controversial anthropologist in the United States.
The criticism I've heard is that he overinflated what role violence plays in their culture.
Got it.
But man, you watch these videos, they do, not only do they hit each other over the head with these long planks of wood,
Mm-hmm.
they then shave the tops of their head to display the scars that they've acquired.
Oh, wow.
And they do, or I don't know if they still do, but at that time they did raid each other's villages all the time and kill a bunch of guys, steal women. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I understand. I think the criticism they felt like it was perpetuating this previous version of anthropology, which was all about the primitive or the savage or the otherness. That's the critique.
Got it.
But I think that kind of ignores what he very clearly documented on film.
She talks about how the majority of drugs are tested on white men, and then you used an Ambien example. A study in immunogenics out of the University of California, San Francisco, this is just another example of this, reported that only 5% of the genetic traits linked to asthma in European Americans applied to African Americans. Other studies have also shown that different ethnicities have distinct genetic mutations that increase their risk for a particular disease and affect how they respond to medicine. Neglected by research, African American children have died from asthma at 10 times the rate of non-Hispanic white children.
Ugh.
Yeah, so it
This
matters.
is this is like almost every disease it shakes out this way, which is sad. Like even, I do a lot of prostate cancer awareness stuff, and Black males who are diagnosed with prostate cancer die at twice the rate as white males.
Really? But again, this could all be a factor because maybe the administration of the medicine should be different and they don't know, and who knows?
So this is interesting because remember when we were talking about swimming and whether it's ethical or not to acknowledge that there might be a different muscle composition among African Americans, that feels dicey, but you do want that happening in
medicine.
Yeah.
I know.
In pharmacology.
I agree.
So it is relevant sometimes to figure out how we're different.
Totally. That's probably the one area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In swimming.
And swimming, of course. And then, Ambien. Yeah, women appear to be more susceptible to this risk because they eliminate zolpidem from their bodies more slowly than men. Because use of lower doses of zolpidem will result in lower blood levels in the morning, FDA is requiring the manufacturers of Ambien to lower the recommended dose.
I think it's half. Women are supposed to take half the dose. Men are. I mean, what's interesting is there's a wide variety in how people process shit.
Yeah.
It's almost like everyone needs their genome mapped.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I watch my response to drugs versus other people's response to drugs. There's something clearly way different going on in my body. I mean, the fact that I could take 30 Vicodin and be acting in an episode of Punk'd. I know if I gave you or Kristen that amount of Vicodin, you'd likely die. Or I can drink a fifth of Jack and still walk around and, running up and down a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
My body's metabolizing stuff much different.
Yeah, it's very person to person, all the drug reactions. Like I was on a drug that I switched to the generic, which is ostensibly the exact same thing, and I had a lot of reaction.
Yeah.
And most people who are on that drug are on the generic version and are totally fine and not having any issues. So yeah, it's so specific.
Yeah.
Anywho,
is that it?
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Well, just a big thank you to Gwyneth Paltrow for coming on the podcast. I feel lucky for us.
Me too. We got to go on hers as well. This is a crossover episode.
Let me add that. Yeah, you could probably hear a slightly different version of this conversation because, of course, we are downplaying how much I'm involved and upplaying how much she's involved in our version, and she will release
whatever she wants to release
on Goop.
Yeah,
should probably have more of me, I would presume.
Yes, I would.
Would be great if she cut out even more of me than we did.
That would be great. I don't think she will.
All right. I love you.
Love you.